So the first question is, how would you describe yourself as like a Shopify pro, or have you ever worked with Liquid before? Is it the template language?
I was working on this like for a client this weekend, and I had a little look at it, and yeah, I'm mainly a Webflow developer.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, very similar to me. I've built quite a few websites in Webflow and designed in Figma. But the e-commerce side of Shopify has always been a favor to a lot of clients. So I'm very similar to the other gentleman in the chat here. I have a client that wants a Shopify website for all of the Shopify features, but the beautiful presentation of Webflow. So I'm very similar. Found Liquify very recently, and I'm very excited to see it all.
Yeah, nice. All right, well, that's good to know. So the main part was what Liquify does is we work with Webflow as like the core stuff you do is still in Webflow, and with the custom attributes we add to the elements in Webflow, you will get access to all the Liquid data inside from Shopify. Liquify makes every Liquid aspect available in Webflow, and you can, like, if you have used FinSuite or any other things like these custom attributes, you can apply to elements in Webflow. Like, they share the same principles. So we just tag the elements we want to be part of the Shopify shop, so it connects to different data from Shopify. Then we will tag it with the custom attribute, and then the process is that we export the code from Webflow, convert it into a Shopify theme, and then use it in Shopify. And when we go into Webflow, so there are two core tools you're working with. This is on the one side the Liquify Webflow app, which you can find here and making it a bit bigger, which is helping you on tagging the elements you want to use. And on the other side, it's the Shopify Liquify app, which you can install as soon as it's approved by the Shopify theme app store. So it's a bit of a progress, but then you can connect your Liquify project to Shopify, and then the conversion steps are more automated than before. So just for the beginning. So what I said earlier, what we do is setting these custom attributes, and they are, like I would say, these are the fundamental attributes which you can find here. So we have LE settings, which when you tag an element with the LE settings attribute, you create a variable for your client who is using Shopify, so they can edit the information right in the editor. So we go into the Shopify theme editor, and there we have this similar project right inside of here. And then when someone is tagged with these settings, you will get a input field you can see on the right here, which says the content of the heading, which there were in Webflow, and then your client can edit everything inside of here. When we compare it to Webflow, we just put in the LE settings with the modifier text, and then call it headline. You can call it whatever you want, and then you will see this is the headline containing the input, the text, and you can change it right in Webflow and Shopify. And these elements, like, there are a lot. You can also look them up in our documentation. like rich text or URL or text, or when you go to the background, you can find the header image, which is just any settings image, and then picture. And right in Shopify, there will be a element where you can select an image from the data in Shopify, or just upload one, and then it will be presented in the back of the section. So this is the early settings. So when you want to tag something, you can just write the attribute or work with the Liquify app. So you just select early settings. Then you want to say, okay, in which position you want it as a text or image. And then you can just put in a name like headline, for example, or headline 2, I don't know, or subline, however you want. And then just hit enter, and then you have added this custom attribute. Oops, too far. So just change it back to headline. There we go. And when we go back, you can also pull the data from CMS of Shopify. And this is mainly done with the LE object. And LE object is like a common phrase from Shopify. So when we go into the documentation and to the cheat sheet, which is also a very nice where you can look up all the objects. And when you filter through the objects, you can see every aspect of Shopify which you can use. And this can be, for example, the product object. And these are all the informations you can implement into your Webflow project. For example, the product title, the product URL, or everything else. Yeah, that's a much better way to add these attributes. Yeah. So when we also look up for maybe a collection, you can see all the collection attributes from the collection object you can use. So this can be at the beginning a bit overwhelming because you can use everything Shopify provides. And like the most common ones like are product, or in the blog the articles, or the blog featured image, and that kind of stuff. So someone else is joining. There we go. Then we have one question. Maybe Daniel. Hey, Eric.
Hey, how's it going?
Great so far. We already started, so you can.
Oh, that's okay. Sorry,
if you have any question, feel free. So, Daniel, you have a question?
Yeah, just one quick question. One of the big things with Shopify is the like the account dashboard, past orders, all those types of things. Is that something that has already been developed with Liquify, or is it on the roadmap to be able to customize the look and feel, but grab all the information to create your own customer dashboard?
Yeah, good question. So this is also it's the same thing with the LE object. So everything which is available through the account object, which we can see here, or the order object, you can retrieve these information inside of Webflow. And when we go into the account, so we also see the page structure. When you go into the account folder, which we also have prepared in our default template, you can see the dashboard for your clients. And these pages are the ones Shopify provide, or are default by Shopify. This is the account dashboard, like you see here. You can just place the recent order and also the customer information, or a list of all the orders, depends on your wishes. And the address page, so they can edit the current address, create a new one, and also the order page. So when you click inside of an order, this is also all the things you can customize. And now when we look inside of this order page, you can see everywhere we have this LE object, and then we just get the information we want. So in this case, it's like the item product title. So we are inside of a item iteration. So we loop over every item in this order, and then we just get the product and then the title of it. So this is how you can. So if there are objects in Shopify, then you can use it with Liquify over here. So it's nothing special we need to implement over here.
That's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
No problem. So these are the most common, like register, login, common accounts pages, and they're already in this preset template, but you can also build them by your own. All right. So, and when I open back up the Liquify app, so maybe it doesn't make sense on this headline, but when we create an LE object, let's just make a better example. Go into the product page. So we can select the product name, which represents the name of the product afterwards in Shopify. We just press LE object, say, okay, it's a text in the text position, so we don't need it as an image or something else. And then we also implemented this completion of your input. So when you go in for, let's say, product, and then title, they're also popping up over here, and then you can just press enter, and then it will be updated over on the, you see it on the right side. So you have access to every aspect of the objects in Webflow. And then when we convert it to a Shopify theme, we just put in the variables, and then it's it will be shown correctly. And this can be done, for example, for the description, or we have it here for our images of the products. So there's a lot you can retrieve from the Shopify objects. So everything inside of here can be used. So there's a long list. So you can also this is also in the resources or documentation, this page. So you can just look up everything which is possible. So it's not about learning the liquid attributes. It's more about learning the Shopify objects. So these you can look up inside of here. Then the next tag would be LE4. This can be used for every iteration. So when you want to loop over a kind of products in a collection, or you want to put in all the tags of the products, like there are a lot of use cases you can apply this. Let's just go to the collection page and our template, and we go into the item of this. So this item will be repeated by every product inside of this collection, and then we just put in the LE4, and then look inside of the tag. It's just for all the products inside of the collection products. So this is the language Shopify uses. Will be repeated. So this element can just demonstrate it when I press it already easily. This is what happens afterwards in Shopify. And what you see here, we try to just don't use the CMS elements from Webflow. So also in the page structure, there's no we don't use the CMS pages. So this can be done. So it's not necessary to don't use CMS collection elements, but what we found, like it's easier to handle it without that stuff. And maybe in the future when you need the CMS plan or something, I don't know. That's why we just try to put the foundation not on the CMS elements, and also not on the e-commerce elements. So these you just have these static pages, and they will be converted into the Shopify theme. So when we look inside of this LE4, inside of this iteration, you have access to all objects of the element you are iterating. So when you're inside of this product element, then you can just access the product title or the product price or the vendor of this product. All right. So this is iterating over a list of things. So this can be anything. But the most common use case is like iterating over products or over product tags or articles or collections. That is up to you. So the next one is LE-if and LE-unless. So they are doing pretty much the same, but more like the opposite. So LE-if is, as it says, like when you want to have a conditional visibility. For example, like you don't want to always show that this product is on sale. And we just check, is the product compare at price maximum bigger than the product price, the current one, then this element will be shown. So you can create conditional visibility with it, and only when this condition is met, then it will be shown. This is also a good example on this one. It's like if the product is available, then this element will be shown. So you can design your text inside of here, and then it will be shown if this element meets this criteria. All right. So this is LE-if and LE-unless. So LE-unless is just doing the opposite. So if it's true, then it won't be shown on LE-unless. All right. So let's just go back to the homepage. So when we go into the product structure, you can see that we try to organize it like in any way with these folders from Webflow. So every shop page, like product collections and cards and all that stuff is inside of here. Like these are necessary pages which Shopify needs in every template or every theme. Then we have the account pages, which nested all the account necessary pages, which are also needed for Shopify for the theme. And then we have all the content pages. So you can create a lot, as many as you want inside of here. And they will just be converted as a page in Shopify. So we have always one default page. Like this is a normal default page in Shopify, just the page title and then the content. But when we check, for example, Glitchu, this can be a about page or a support page. Check pages inside of here. So this is our about page on this project, where we've just put all the content inside of here, and then our customer can change the text and images and all that stuff. And the last thing are these utility pages, which are password page, search page, and for page. They can also be customized however you want. Let's just go back to the home page. The one important thing about the page structure, so we use the client first style system. So it's not necessary to use it, but we need this page structure. So we have a page wrapper, and then outside of the main wrapper, we have a footer, a navbar, and also in this case, the global styles. And everything inside of this LE content for layout will be editable afterwards in Webflow and Shopify. So just make an example. Created a template, so how it works. Maybe you already worked with Shopify. So we have the section created in Webflow. Let's add one more. Better to understand. Maybe something that fits better. The hero. So like everything inside of here, the template is inside of the LE content for layout and can also be moved by your clients. So you can also imagine a bit like a landing page builder. So every section you have created inside of Webflow can be selected inside of here. So it's very modular at the end. And this is why it's necessary to have every content inside of a section. And these are like the next attributes from Liquify is the LE section tag. So when you create content, it needs to be inside of a section and tagged with the LE section tag and also with the name you can choose. So it should be descriptive so your client knows what it does. And inside of the section, you can do whatever you want. So we have the client first structure, the padding global, container large, and also page padding. And then, it's up to you what you're doing inside of here. So that's about that. And one other thing which is quite similar to the LE section is the LE block. So you can inside of LE section you can put a LE block element, which go back to the home page and so, which you can use for example in the side of a slider, or we have these blocks on the home page in this theme template, and then your client can, for example, make a slideshow or like these elements, and then you can also reorder them, change the content of that thing, put the link inside. So they are pretty much, it's very easy to make it unique to your client's needs. Yeah, one question.
Yeah, so when it comes to the slider, because I use the Swiper.js, and I saw that when I was converting it, it wasn't working. So I was wondering if we should use the block or we can use any slider.
So the LE block element is just iterating. So when you use it, we just duplicate this element over and over again. And we can, so you're using Swiper.js. Let's go into Future. This is also what we are using at the most. So this is a swiper element. So you can see the classes are applied over here or on this collection. Swiper wrapper, swiper slide, all that stuff. And then it's necessary to put the LE block on the swiper slide element. So this one will be iterated over and over again. What we can do is, if it's not working on your side, I can have a look. But I think when you have put the LE block onto the slide, this should already should be correct, and then we just need to look if something else is not configured the right way.
Okay. Yes.
So you can, if you want, you can send me a preview, read-only link after the hands-on. I can have a look.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So this is a kind of a use case. So using it in with to the live page, like with these sliders, and these are LE block elements, which you can see here. This can be done with the LE block tag. And these needs to be inside of this LE section tag. So let's go one step further. So we have also in our documentation, which you can find on the homepage, we have some special elements, which are these Liquify elements. We are also planning to create more in the future. So at the moment we have this mini card element and the product variance watch. And And you can do them by your own, but we made it a bit easier to implement it. And also have a bit of a different functionality. So our goal was to have like more of a Ajax, like a real-time updating information without refreshing the page. When you add something to the card, for example, then it will be updated without refreshing the page, which makes the user experience way better. And this also happens, for example, on the collection page. So when you change the on the product page, when you change the info, these options, then also the information on the page will be updated without refreshing the whole page. This is good for maybe if you have a product with different colors, or some options are available and some not. So you also need to update the information so they can add it to the cart, or you have a special price in that specific variant, but not on the others, and it also makes sense to use this element. So and how to implement it. So mainly we use this LE element tag, and it's also described where to use it, and you can just follow the instruction. And when I go into Webflow, so we prepared this component page where you can see this this element, which without going to the navigation bar, so it's always folded out. And here we have, like, for example, the LE element minicard item, which iterates over that, and also the remove item LE element, and also the change the quantity. So this is everything. These are all custom attributes which you can use over there. So besides these LE element tags, which have a specific use case, and like the element add to cart or quantity and all that stuff, is done with the LE element. And inside of some of them, you have the informations like product price, product images. Therefore, we have like works the same as LE object. Just updating in real time is the LEJS object, so JavaScript object. So if you have, for example, the product title inside of here, then you just go with the LEJS object, and then it will represent the product title on the live page. So you can see here, this is the LEJS object with the product title. And yeah, just to know which informations are based on like these Ajax methods, and which are rendered on the server side. So yeah, it works the same. You can also work it as have it for a product image, and also you can use this conditional visibility with LEJSF. So these work like the same way, but you just need to think that it's for those elements which are which represent liquid info. It's like dynamic information on the page. For example, the image of the current variant. So these both elements, like the mini card and also the product variant swatch, they are inside of the starter theme, so you can use them. And also the tags are already applied, so you can just build around it. And this is how it looks in Webflow. So we just have one of these options. You can design them, and Shopify iterates over them on the live side. So these are the Liquify elements, and we base that on Alpine.js. I don't know if you know that, like an attribute-based JavaScript library. So this is already built inside of Liquify, so you don't need to mess around with it, but if you want, you can. And this is just a attribute-based data manipulation on the live side. So if you want to have, this is also what we use. Xtext represents LE.js object. So you can use it, but if you don't want, then just ignore it. But this is the foundation of the LE element or the Liquify element. All right. So the next thing, if you don't have any questions, would be like a few things Shopify already is capable of. And this is on the one side, the Shopify filters. So we have it over here. So this is not a thin suite filter or something else. You can use it, but I don't think that makes that much sense over here because Shopify already has a very, very good filter function. When we go inside of a collection, like this is a different design, which we have in the starter template, but works the same. So we only design one filter group and one filter option, and Shopify is doing the rest of it for us. So it doesn't matter if like we defined which filter groups we want to have, and we don't need to put the information inside of these products. So Shopify already knows it. We can just click what we want to filter, and then Shopify is doing the rest for us. And when we go on a vendor page, you already see that these, we go back, this market filter, like these vendors, are not, you can see them because you can filter them because there's only one vendor on this page. So Shopify is also only providing these filter groups when they are necessary for this page, and which is also very intelligent to use at the end. And you can also apply the filter count for this option. So if you have already filtered and you want to filter deeper, you can also show how many products are inside of this filter options at the end. So the customer knows what happens before they click on this filter. And you can also show these active tags. So there are also objects in Shopify can also use. This is also a perfect example. So here we iterate over with the LE4 tag over the filters and collection filters. And inside of here, we have a LE object, and this is the filter value label, and also the delete button for this active filter. So this is also very easy to implement functionality like this. Then we have these recommended products, which is also quite nice from Shopify. So they're based on the customer, so how they buy at your store and which products are buy together or seen together. And you just need to implement these Shopify objects. And this is also something which runs automatically. Let's just go into Shopify. So the filters, they work with this search and discovery function from Shopify. So this is a built-in functionality, and you can create these, we've seen it before, these filter groups inside of here, but you can also access meta fields and all that stuff, or the price when you filter by price, or the color, or text. So this is up to you. The possibilities are endless. And also the product recommendations, so which you can see here. This is everything what the Shopify AI has done. These are the recommended products for it, but you can also say, okay, my client says I want to show only these type of products, and you can also override what the AI has done. All right. Oh yeah, is one
Yeah,
question.
I was wondering about the animations.
Mhm.
Like how will, for example, I tried the interactions, it worked, but when it was with the marquee, like the text that move like within the section, I don't know why, but I wasn't able to. I can show you an example of it if you want now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, um, okay. Can share my screen or
Yes, but we can do it now, or we can have all, because we also need to look at the time. Maybe it makes sense we can also watch it together,
yeah.
making a separate appointment. But like, because you mentioned it, like Webflow animations, when we use them, so the interactions, the only thing you need is when you trigger an element or want to move an element around, it's necessary to always bind it to a class, so
Mm-hmm.
not an element, because sometimes what happens is when you're iterating over something, then this element um, uh, won't be like the element will be generated inside of Shopify, so Webflow can't target it. So this is
Oh,
necessary what you do.
okay.
But maybe let's have a look afterwards so we can also check it.
All right.
Then we have Daniel. You also had Maria. You also had a question. Sorry about that. Thought with this, it might have been mentioned, but does this use a base theme like a Dawn or custom Liquify one or not at all? So we have what we use is you can also duplicate it. There we go, inside of here. So this is the Webflow template, which you can duplicate, and this is the starting point where we our themes or our projects are based on. And they all have this necessary things inside, which like the account pages and that stuff. So this is what we have looked at the last 40 minutes. So this is the Liquify product starting theme, starter theme for Webflow. Hope that answers that. All right. When the code exported in a liquid theme, is it bloated like how Udacity is, or it's clean convert like how Webflow code is written? Then do you mean the how like the format of it, or what exactly do you mean? Help me out. Yeah, format. So Shopify has its own formatter. We're already using it, but at the moment we have a bit of a problem because it's not going for the sections. Just going to so we look at the code inside of here. It's going to inside of a section. So this is the what we see here is like the code editor of Shopify. So normally you're not doing or just testing some stuff inside of here, because when you change something inside of here, your new theme will override it. But let's go, for example, inside of the header. So what you see here is like it's not formatted at the moment because we have already implemented it, but it's not going over the sections at the moment. So it doesn't look that good at the moment, but it will be. So this is how it looks at the moment. But you can be sure that this will be a bit prettier. But our goal for our client is not to work that much inside of here. Yeah. Hope that answered it. Yeah, so our goal was always to have, so our base theme was always also the Dawn theme, which is like the base theme of Shopify, which is as a reference. So it was our goal to have. That's also why we don't put in these e-commerce elements from Webflow, because they load up your whole project. So depends a bit on your side. So our themes are very, very small at the end. That's also because we, as an agency, we take a look at that. But when you put in big images already inside of Webflow, then also your theme will be gets bigger and bigger. So when we check, for example, our base template, also Schlittschuh, so we already always have these placeholder images inside. So you can more think of inside of Webflow designing as a blueprint, and then the content comes from Shopify. So you can use another default picture, but I wouldn't recommend to have a lot of pictures inside of Webflow. So the reason I asked, could Webflow with Liquiflow be used to create Shopify 2.0 themes that could also be sold on the Shopify theme store? So what I with this Shopify 2.0 functionality, so this is what we seen inside of here. I don't know if everyone knows what Shopify 2.0 means, but basically means that you can, if the content is always attached to the page template and not to like the overall settings data. So which means you can reuse elements over and over on the theme, and which also makes the whole project way more dynamic. So what we can see here as an example is creating like these dynamic pages. So you can create a landing page maybe, or change the structure on the product page. This is what Shopify 2.0 means. And that's a good question. So we haven't tried it, but so Liquify gives you access to everything Shopify or Shopify Liquid, so the template language gives. So you just have access to everything. So you could basically create Shopify 2.0 themes, Shopify theme store themes, but we haven't tried that. That's why I can't say you can do it, but theoretically would be possible. Yeah. So, but to use the Shopify 2.0 functionality, we are still waiting for the Liquify Shopify app, because it's necessary to have these connections to get the content which is already inside of the theme in Shopify into that new theme. So when you use it without the app, then you need to transfer the content, which is not very good. So at the moment, Shopify 2.0 is also not on the live server. So when the app is approved, then you will also have access to Shopify 2.0. But at the moment, it works fine, but we need to wait for the approval. And let's go to like the whole process. So when you go into Webflow, we hopefully soon, so the Liquify app is already approved. We just need to list it on the, so you can also install it in the future. So at the moment we have this debugging features where you can check, okay, what tags are used at the moment, and also provides if there are any mistakes done, then it will be red over here. And in the future, you will also can choose to publish it, and then we just get the data from Webflow and put it over the Shopify app directly into Shopify. So this is also quite far on our roadmap, and our aim with that is to automate this whole process from Webflow to Shopify. Because at the moment you go inside of here, export the code, go into the Liquify dashboard, which we have here. So you create the project, create a new one, this project. And we go inside of this. Oops, there's a spelling, but it doesn't matter. So you can already choose the output, which can be the Shopify app. So we are talking over the Shopify API, and also the input will then be from Webflow. So this is something which we are working at the moment. And then when it's converted, you just select the theme you want to convert. Just the correct one. I think so. Just hit convert, and then it takes about, at the moment, about 1 minute. We have like a bit of a process going on to test everything, so that we have feedback on the conversions. And then you can download it and go back into Shopify. With the app, when you connected the app, it will appear right inside of here, or you just go inside and say zip upload and upload the theme, which we have here. So this is the process from Webflow to Shopify. At the moment, there are like a few steps which need to be done by your side, but in the future it will be, when we're out of the beta, will be 100% automated. And then when you're inside of Shopify, there's a one question: do you brand your Liquify files or code with your branding like how you Dasly do? So at the moment, we're not planning this. So when you have, like, on a free plan, the idea is to have like a little Liquify badge. But when you're on a agency or pro plan, then this will be removed. And also, what you see, when you check a live store over here and also go into the thing, you will see that there is still these LE object elements applied to it. But this is also a plan that we remove it in the process, but at the moment it's quite useful to see also on the live page what kind of elements are tagged. So it depends a bit. So if there's a big need for this, then we will remove it. So in the theme file, we don't have anything from Udesly, from Liquify. So there's no file from us. So yeah, welcome. Then we go back into the Shopify. The things you can do, like Shopify already have this blog CMS, so you can create blogs and also blog posts inside of it. So you can manage a blog. So you can have news blog or press blog, I don't know, depends on your client. And also articles inside of these blogs. No, what a new blog. I want to have add a blog post. And there you go. Like, works almost the same as in Webflow. Test article. You can create the content of it, and also you have the SEO stuff inside of here, featured image, and you can say who's the author and to which blog it's fitting to. And same thing with pages. And you can create these pages. So you need to imagine it like you create in Webflow, you create page templates. You can see over here. And in Shopify, you need to create these pages. and assign them to these page templates. So this is the default page, but you can also define it somewhere else. So just as an example, on the Schlittschuh page, we have these pages, which can be, for example, the About Us page, and then we need to assign it to this element. And this is like the core principle. So you can have multiple product pages, for example, when you go inside of a product, right? You can also choose. So if there would be more templates, then you can also choose them from here. So you can have multiple products or multiple collections or article pages designed in Webflow, and your customer can say, okay, this is this product and it needs this template, which can also be very handy for some stores. And the other thing is this navigation feature, which brings Shopify. And this is just, you can create these, I think we have it over here, things, so you can edit the navigation, so the link where it needs to go, and also create like a hierarchy of all the links. And when we go on the live site, just reload it, and I saved it. No. I changed this Black Friday to sale, and it needs to be, now it's live on the page. So your customer can always create these nested menus if they want. And yeah, this is how that works. There's one question. Yep.
Yeah, for the pages, we have to like make the attribute LE page, and we have to use a unique name, correct?
So go inside of here. So yeah, good that you mentioned it. So every page on the body, we have a LE page tag. So these names are strict to the use case. So LE page product will always be the product page. And if you have like a content page, about us page, they don't need the body tag. So okay, bad example because it's the page, but when we go inside of here, so they don't need a custom attribute. Only the pages Shopify needs, and these are already inside of this Shopify template. So when we go inside of here, LE page collection, and the way to create a alternative is just product dot alternative, and then it will be created like a alternative product page, as we mentioned here. So you can select another version of this template of the Shopify theme product page. So this is how that works. Yeah, so these LE pages are necessary, so we know which page is what, but they are already tagged inside of this default template. Nothing to do on your side either. So when you're using like a new theme, then or not based on the starter theme, then you need to tag it, but inside of the starter template, it's not necessary. All right. And think a bit, but I think that's almost it. Do you have any questions? Yes, Eric.
Yeah, I just had one quick question. How well does this play with Shopify add-ons? I'm specifically thinking about Recharge, but I'm sure there are others.
Yeah. So the term is that we create Shopify themes. It's like not like a headless system or anything else. So normally any app, because we are doing also have 2.0, like the 2.0 feature, every app should work with themes from Liquify. You can also check another store from us, which uses I don't know which app it's exactly, but it's also like a subscription app, which we just said, okay, it needs to be inside of here, which also works perfectly. So you can change a bit the styling and all that stuff, but they work with Liquify.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, nice.
Sorry, just to
Yes.
extend on Eric's question, there's a couple of Shopify sites out there that used a star rating system, a review system called stamped.io. When I used a similar converter, the only way to get the specific review code from stamp.io into my site when it was converted, I had to kind of like use their liquid code embed in a HTML embed on Shopify, then convert it, and then it was there on the Shopify site. Is that a similar process, or you have a specific, if you want to embed liquid code from an app, this is how you do it, or there isn't something like that?
So there's a bit of a transition at the moment because Shopify 2.0 is not that long on the market. And all the apps are on the Shopify market, they are already, a lot of them have transitioned. And so the new way Shopify wants it to have are app blocks. And these are like placeholders, Shopify app blocks. That is not the best, but like what we do inside of Liquify, we create these app blocks. So this is somewhere where an app could put in their content, and then every app can put in the content inside of there. When the just go inside of it, how to explain, but normally like the workflow should be that when you have these app embeds over here, you turn them on and then say on the like the same way as you have added to like add a block or add a sections, then you can also add a app over here and insert it on the site. But what we have done also, because we have, for example, Judge Me, which we use over here. They don't, like they have two options to implement it. On the one hand, these are these app blocks. On the other side, they provide over meta fields a code. Get inside of here on the product page. And here we just have these custom attributes which the app needs, like the product ID and some styling. So this is provided by the app, like app documentation, and then it will be displayed like this in here. And also with this, this is how it looks in Webflow, and this is what the app is providing us. So this is like this reviews app. And I haven't worked with Stamped, so I don't know how the process is exactly, but this is how it works with Judge Me. But in general, you should work with these app blocks, and this is also how Shopify wants it.
Okay, perfect. So moving forward, when 2.8 gets fully rolled out, it'll be like an app block system rather than using attributes in Webflow to then kind of create it manually, and then it just appears with everything from the installed app. Okay, yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I said meta fields. This is for the people who haven't worked with Shopify. This is also very useful. Like when you go into the settings, you have these custom data tab, and you can create meta fields and meta objects. And meta fields are definitions you apply to like a specific case. In this case, it's like to the product, and then you can maybe color or something, and select the type of the input. Maybe it can also be a color picker. Then save it, and then your customer has the ability to change this on the product page. So this is the product page, so I added it. And at the bottom, you can see all the meta fields we have applied. And this is for example, nice if you want to have on every page, you want to have a different background color based on the product. Then you just retrieve the information from this meta field. So over here, we have, there's a good example. This is a text-based meta field, but this works the same. So we access the product meta fields, the custom ones, and this one is like a short description of that element. When we go into the product over here, you can see we have a short description placed inside of the meta field, which can be used inside of here. So you're also very open to the information and which and where you want to display it. And this can be attached to products, variants, and all that stuff you can see here. Or you create your own list, and this is the same as CMS, Webflow CMS. So where you can create collection lists and also attributes to attach to it. So from the last call, you can create a team meta object, which then contain a few meta fields like name and email. And when we go into the data tab over here, you can create these teammates, for example, and or FAQs and all that stuff. And we've done that in, for example, in Schlittschuh, where we have iterating over the FAQs. And when we go into the content, we have these FAQs over here inside of a list. And we just say this is a list of the meta objects, FAQ in shop meta objects, FAQs values, which then loops over every meta object inside of this list. So this is very neat for maybe teammates and all that stuff. Daniel?
Just a quick question in regards to the update of the Liquify app. Right now, you're developing where you publish on Webflow and then the thing gets added to Shopify. It's more of an automated process. With the introduction of meta fields and kind of custom information like what you're showing us here, is there going to be a way back for this information on the Liquify app? Because I remember you showed the Liquify app in Webflow where you can click an element, add the attribute, add then the next bit of information, and then set the name. Is that going to be something that can be done automatically, not automatically, but in like a select option way, like you were showing us before, or does it have to be typed in manually?
It's a good idea. So it's not possible at the moment, but because we are not talking like in the other direction at the moment, we just send the themes over from Webflow and then convert it. But it would be, so we have access to this information over the Shopify API. That wouldn't be that complicated to add also. So what you are trying, like you don't want to, like there should be a helpful, when you add this custom attribute, then the Liquify app should help you on this name.
Just to make it a little bit easier in the setup of these custom attributes, because custom attributes can lead you down a rabbit hole of a lot of customization and name lengths and those types of things. If there's a way to make the adding of custom attributes easier, then it might be something that's utilized a bit more.
No, that's a good idea. So let's discuss it with the team later, but so at the moment, like, it's not hasn't been on our roadmap, and also it's not implemented, but I see the use case of it. Like for the other C, so the goal is to, like, when you have a meta field, so these are the keys which are attached to, so if you want to access this meta field, you need to put in this key into the LE object, so then it can be shown, or like this one. And at the moment, you need to go in Shopify and copy it and then attach it to the Webflow element. But as Daniel said, it would be nice to have also this information inside of Webflow, so you don't need to go make this back and forth. Was that correct, Daniel?
That is correct, yes. Perfect.
All right. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. So this is also very, very powerful if you use these custom data, which where you can create very unique shop experiences. So that's nice. So, and one last thing. We're doing also a lot on this, for example, Katja store. So we had a bit of a problem, or the client had a bit of a problem with these products are very cheap, so they do not cost that much, and so it doesn't make sense to have to sell products that are very, if they only have one in the basket. And that's why we tried also with this picker of the quantity, so they can also save some money if they pick a eighth of them, and also inside of the mini cart, which is also, let's just remove it. We have a little progress bar, which is also very easy to implement inside of, like, this is one tag which describes the width of this div, and that's it. So you can access also these information from our Shopify cart API. So because we are working with Alpine.js, so that's also very easy. And so you will make clonables on that. So should we just check the total price of the mini cart, which we have at the moment, which is right here. That's the price. And then you just set which price is when you get the free shipping, and then we just say, okay, this is 0% and that's 100%, and then also very, very easy to implement. Okay, and that's, like, if you have any, like, this is done without any app, and this is also our aim with our clients, to just don't use apps, because sometimes they can pull down your performance on the store and also have additional costs. So when it's possible, we try to do it with the built-in stuff from Liquify. So this is totally doable or this is done by Liquify. Yeah. Any questions? No? Okay, so yeah, if you haven't joined the Discord server, then do so. We can always connect to me or Marvin. And yeah, if you have any questions regarding your projects, just send over your read-only link, and then we can take a look at it.
I have a question, but it's like
Yeah.
more on the side. How long will it take me for me to get the beta? So
That's a good question. So if you have, like all of you, and you have like a specific project, which is like kind of a hurry, then I can give you access. Just DM me afterwards. At the moment, we just our product will get much better when we have all these apps on the market, and that's why we are a bit of holding it a bit back. So currently we have about around 40 beta users, or 40 to 50, and these are all currently working on specific projects. And so if you have any projects at the moment, then just contact me, and then you can see how that works out.
I have a project, I could use it, but I'm one of the people I like to have like my time to play with things before I go to like actually use it, you know? So I will DM you for sure.
Yeah. You can DM me in Discord. Just join the server, and then you can write on that. So that's, yeah, I totally understand it. But playing around with it is always a good idea. So what I can say to that, so we, like Katja's, this is also a very big store for us. Also makes over €1 million per year. So there are a lot of people on it. So we can totally say like this Liquify is like a trustful converter, where a lot of users can also use it. So like it's approved, we would say, and also the other shops we've converted. Hope you have learned a bit about how the Liquify process is going, and if you have any project or ideas, also just write me.